Greetings and welcome to this sneak peek into ICWA's panel discussion on maritime domain awareness in the Indo-Pacific region. I'm Avni Sablok, Research Associate at the Council, and it's my pleasure to introduce the chair of the panel discussion, Captain Sarabjit Singh Parmar, Distinguished Fellow, Council for Strategic and Defense Research, New Delhi. Welcome to the Council, sir.
Thank you.
So, in what ways can strengthening regional cooperation enhance maritime domain awareness to address shared security challenges and ensure safe, stable maritime governance in the Indo-Pacific region? Your take, sir.
So, Avni, when you speak of shared security challenges, today's maritime domain starts from the seabed right up to the sky. The area is enormous. Nevertheless, it's important that not one single nation would be able to do it alone. That's where regional cooperation comes in. And when you speak about regional cooperation, various nations have their own national interests, they have their strategic horizon, they have their capacities and capabilities. And this is where nations need to come together, understand the strategic horizons, develop capacities and capabilities, and this investment would enable actually an overall maritime domain awareness, which will aid the maritime agencies and the nations in addressing the challenges and the future challenges that will come. And let me remind you once again, this is from the seabed till the skies. It's a huge, huge area, and therefore regional cooperation needs to be enhanced much more than we see it today.
Thank you for your perspective, sir. Thank you. We have with us Captain Dr. Gurpreet Singh Khurana, Professor, Naval War College, Goa. Welcome to the Council, sir.
Thank you.
How does effective maritime domain awareness contribute to India's defense strategy and preparedness?
Okay, so as you know, maritime domain awareness is a concept which was essentially, even for the Americans, it began with the constabulary role of the defense forces, specifically the Navy. And so that happened with us as well. And we had the Mumbai terror attacks in 2008. And that is the time we realized that our maritime domain awareness was not effective enough for us to be able to find out that it was Kober, that fishing trawler, which was being used by the Pakistani terrorists to come to Mumbai, right? And that is a time when the government made the Indian Navy, gave it the lead role in the maritime and coastal security of India, and that is when the NDA architecture that the Navy made in conjunction with the government, other forces, and the authorities. So this, of course, gives us an effective constabulary responsibility that we can perform well. But it also has a dimension of military. As you know, the maritime domain is a common domain where there are civilian fishing vessels, there are military vessels.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, if you look at what is happening today between India and Pakistan, if, for instance, we were to undertake a blockade of the Pakistani coast, this is the MDA, which will help us to identify what are the vessels there, because there are all sorts of vessels there. There are foreign vessels as well. The legitimate activity going on. And so to sift those legitimate activity and the civilian fishing vessels and so on from the military vessels and warships, we need MDA. Or if you have to carry out a sea control mission and then go and do a strike against, say, Karachi, Pasni, or even Gwadar, that's what gives us. And on the other side, if you see with China, if you have to take on the Chinese, you have to, and that's where the underwater domain awareness comes in.
Right.
And we have to know where the submarines are.
Right.
Are they striking at our submarine cables? And so on. And so that's how I think it's something like a dual purpose concept, which will not only help us to the Indian Navy to meet its constabulary role, but also its military role.
Thank you, sir, for your informative perspective. Thank you. We have with us Dr. Arnab Das, Founder Director, Maritime Research Center, Pune. Welcome to the Council, sir. So, if you can enlighten our viewers on why is underwater domain awareness important and how underwater domain awareness can enhance security, environmental protection, and stability in the Indo-Pacific.
Thank you. I think it's a very important question because I would like to start by saying 75% of the earth is water. I mean, 70% is marine and 5% is fresh water.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I take a step further to say that 95% within this 75% that we spoke about, 95% of the resources, threats, concerns, and opportunities lie below the surface. So, from that perspective, underwater becomes so much more important. Now, in this, it's important to recognize underwater domain awareness as a separate. Obviously, it is part of the larger MDA construct that we talk about, but underwater domain awareness requires specialized acoustic capacity or capability to monitor what is below, because under the water, it is only the acoustic signal that propagates efficiently. So, from that perspective, underwater domain awareness needs to be given the due importance. The second important aspect is today, strategically, we remind ourselves about the Indo-Pacific region or Indo-Pacific strategic space. Now, what is the Indo-Pacific strategic space? It is the tropical waters of the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. So, again, the tropical waters or the tropical characteristics become very important. And one important aspect of tropical characteristic is, firstly, it has rich biodiversity. So, there's huge opportunity in terms of, commercial exploitation like fisheries, aquaculture, and a whole lot of things. Even minerals also, natural resources are, in high abundance. The second aspect is the sonar that will be used. I mean, acoustic can be used through a sonar. The sonar performance degraded by 60% in the tropical waters compared to the temperate water where they were originally designed and developed. So, that becomes a very important part, that underwater domain awareness has to be given the due importance. Otherwise, we will missing out on such a huge resource, and we'll also be ignoring the disasters or the concerns that emanate from the water. So, I think that should be able to answer your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your perspective. Thank you. We have with us Mr. Abhijit Singh, retired naval officer and former head Maritime Policy Initiative at the Observer Research Foundation, New Delhi. Welcome to the council, sir. Sir, if you can enlighten our viewers on why space technology is key for maritime domain awareness, and what role can India's expertise in the field play, including in collaborating with the countries of the Global South?
So thank you. I think space technologies are a key enabler of maritime domain awareness, to the extent that till some time ago, the discussions used to be really around legacy systems, and that was essentially radars, AIS. But now what we are seeing increasingly is Earth observation satellites. You have optical sensors, IR sensors, synthetic aperture radars. These are all making it possible to look at a very wide swath of the maritime domain and look at it with a great deal of accuracy. So that means that now it is possible actually to look at dark shipping and to identify ships that are trying very hard to evade detection. And that's what makes space technology critical. But I would go further to say that the key technology today in terms of space is actually the RF satellites, radio frequency satellites. They're also making it possible to look at ships that have completely gone dark, meaning they're not transmitting anything. They're not. They don't have any lights on board. So even a smallest of a transmission can actually be picked up by RF satellites. It can be triangulated. As far as India is concerned, I think we have a fairly robust architecture in terms of our RISAT and Cartosat satellites. We have some partnerships going. The recent development that we are going to be getting, the Hawkeye 360 from the US, is a development in the right direction. We also have partnerships within the IFC IOR. That makes India a good partner to have. I think India has the ability to build capacity as well as provide some of these nations in the global south with the key technologies that will enable better MDA in the future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your informative perspective. Thank you. We have with us Dr. Shripati. He's a research fellow at the council, and his area of focus is maritime and Southeast Asia. If you can enlighten our viewers on what is maritime domain awareness and why is it important?
Maritime domain awareness as has been the definition given by the International Maritime Organization, an affiliate outfit of the United Nations, is the effective awareness of everything that is happening in the seas and oceans, which will have an impact on the safety, security, ecological, and economic activities at sea. It covers both the volume of water, the surface of the water, the seabed, and the airspace above the water. The importance of maritime domain awareness. At the outset, the MDA as a concept is very old. It is as old as fishing and seafaring. And any activity you have to do at the sea, you must first be aware as what is happening. Where are the resources? What are the challenges? In today's day and age, MDA takes a lot of importance because it has got impact on the climatic conditions in the world, environmental footprint, because half the world's oxygen comes from the ocean. The ocean absorbs about 90% of the heat, and it is also a very large carbon sink. Second, the global economy is dominated by shipping. So any disruptions on the sea lanes of communication will have an impact on the global economy. Third, the oceans are a major source for a lot of resources apart from fisheries, offshore hydrocarbon, rare earths, and other mining activities. And it is also an important source, potentially an important source for clean energy and green energy.
Thank you for your perspective. We have with us Keshav Verma, Research Associate at the Indian Council of World Affairs. His area of research is focused on geopolitics of global commerce. So, Keshav, the idea of today's panel discussion originates from ICWA's special publication titled Maritime Domain Awareness in the Indo-Pacific region. Can you provide our viewers with some insight into the publication?
Thank you, Avni, for the question. So, maritime domain awareness in the Indo-Pacific region. This publication we have recently released, and it's a timely publication because we know Indo-Pacific is a recent hotspot that the global world is talking about. We have 65% of population here, 60% of GDP here, and around 90,000 of vessels every year sailing through this crucial area. So this publication basically deals with three areas that the first one is leveraging technology, then the regional cooperation, then the role of space sector in the maritime domain awareness. So we have 6 contributors in all, and 2 of the authors deals with the technology portion, and me and Mr. Abhijit dealt with the outer space, and the conceptual chapter was covered by Dr. Shripati, who is a research fellow here. So this is a very important publication because maritime domain awareness is all about all the activities and movement that are taking place in the maritime domain, and it's really very important for the countries and all the regions that we should know about this region. And today MDA is not about piracy or the illegal fishing. Today maritime domain awareness is covering all the areas, including sustainable governance and oceans, climate change. So this all areas we have tried to cover in this publication, and it is my request to all the viewers that please visit our website and download this publication to go through with that. Thank you.
Definitely, our viewers are going to benefit from the special publication on maritime domain awareness. To know more about the panel discussion, do visit our YouTube channel and the social media channels. Thank you for joining us.